So welcome everybody. Can everybody see my screen?
Yeah,
Yes.
Great.
yes.
So a
Yeah.
short introduction. What is Hack Your Future? We are a coding school that aims to enable refugees and disadvantaged people to develop the digital skills needed for a career in web development. You probably already knew this. Let me put you search. So our mission is to fight for the digital inclusion by helping refugees and newcomers into the workforce by reintegrating and teaching them the skills of tomorrow. Now that sounds all really nice. So our numbers, we have a volunteer network of 75 volunteers that consists of coaches and mentors. About 70% of our alumni find an internship or a job after finishing this process in the IT sector. And about 40% of the people in our courses are women, which is quite high compared to the average of 16% in the general IT sector. Now, how do we achieve this? So the coding school that you perhaps want to register for is a 9-month course. And during the entire course, all the transportation costs will be reimbursed, as well as a laptop will be provided when needed. So if you don't have access to your own laptop, we can lend you one for the duration of the course. In general, all our classes are taught on Sundays in English by volunteer coaches. So this means that you're expected to self-study throughout the week, and every Sunday we gather around in the Epitech building, and there will be classes taught by coaches that currently work in the industry. Aside from the technical aspects of the training, we of course also put a heavy emphasis on all the soft skills you will need. So this is why around once a month, there will always also be a morning session on Sunday that will focus on a soft skill. Now, these soft skills can range from working on your resume, learning how to behave in a job interview, how to apply for a job, all these kind of skills that are necessary to eventually get a job in IT. Our curriculum is completely open source. If you want to see, it consists of 10 modules, which are like 10 distinct chapters of things you're going to see. And these are all essential to become a junior web developer. You can look at them at home if you want to. The curriculum is completely open source. You can find it online if you go to home.hackyourfuture.be. It's all there. After those 10 modules, you'll need to create one final project, which is like the final exam of the program. Now, in this final project, you will work together with a team of other students using real life agile methodology. So it would be the same as if you are working in a company. Together with those other students and under supervision of an experienced coach, you will then create a prototype of a product or a service you want to create, and you will present this to companies and to jury at the final presentation. So a typical week of a Hack Your Future student looks like from Monday to Wednesday, you are studying on your own whenever you have free time. To recap the last lesson, the lesson of last Sunday. You try to go over the concepts, make the exercises, make sure that you understand everything. Now, on Wednesday in the evening, there is a check-in, which means that whatever you're stuck at on Wednesday evening, you post an issue online, and our coaches will take a look at what you're working on. They will take a look at what your questions that you posted, and they will answer them, and they will give you feedback so that you can continue working. Now, after that, Thursday and Friday, you continue learning by yourself to prepare for the next class. Saturday, typically, you would take a day off so that on Sunday, you are ready for both the skill session, although this is only once a month, and a class from 12 till 4. Okay, so this is a program. If you're interested in joining this program, then you can apply to try to get a position. Now, that's when we come to the application procedure. So for the application procedure, there are three main steps. The first one, most of you already did, some may have not, is the online registration. If you go to our website, there will be a pop-up that asks you to fill in a form. In this form, you have to provide some general information, such as your name and a motivation statement. If you fill in this form, you'll receive back an email with some links and information about the technical assignment. Now, this technical assignment, I'll discuss a bit more in detail after this part, contains some things we want you to work on by yourself. And if you complete the technical assignment, you can hand it in, submit it to us. We'll take a look, we'll review those technical assignments. And if we think that you did a good job in the technical assignment and you pass all the checks, then we will invite you for an interview. Based on those interviews, we will try to select students. And if you are selected, you will receive an email that you are eligible to start the course. So some of you have questions about the technical assignments. And if you take a look at the assignment that's posted online, you can see that the technical assignment requires 3 deliverables. The first deliverable was to create a GitHub account with a profile README. Instructions on how to do this can be found online. So you can create an account. On your account, you will create a README file in which you shortly introduce yourself using some basic Markdown features. The second part of the deliverables is a simple HTML and CSS page. So what we want for you for this part of the assignment is, if you take a look at our open source curriculum in the pre-course, there is a section called suggested reading materials. If you take a look at that, you can see quite some links to some basic HTML and CSS concepts. So what we would like you to do is, by yourself, take a look at some of these concepts. Like, could be, for example, a couple of tags that are interesting, or something about CSS that catches your eye. And we want you to write a very basic, it doesn't need to be really advanced, it can be a very basic web page that explains 1 or 2 features about HTML or CSS. So you can, if you can create me a website that tells something about these are different tags that exist in HTML, that is perfect. So basically create a simple website that explains some introduction topics about HTML and CSS. Okay. In a similar vein, we also want you to write a short JavaScript program. It doesn't really have to be really long, but it needs to be correct. But a very short JavaScript program that explains via some comments and some examples how JavaScript variables work. So your code, together with the comments, should give like some examples and some detail about this is how a variable works. You can do this, you can reassign it using this way. There's maybe a difference between a var or a const, something like that. So explain how JavaScript variables work. So these are the 3 deliverables. The first one is on GitHub. The other 2 are made on Replit, an online service you can create an account for free. Okay. If you finished all these 3, you can fill in the form to submit your final technical assignment. If we receive all those technical assignments, we will go through them and we will take a look at who completed the whole assignment. If your assignment is completely functional and it's like complete, then we will invite you for an interview. Now, what is this interview? In this interview, we're going to have a one-on-one discussion, And in this discussion, we will try to assess your English language level skills, because your English language needs to be of an intermediate level. We're also going to assess your motivation as well as the technical assignment itself. Lastly, we're also going to verify your availability, because like I said, we do expect you to study quite a bit at home. So every student that participates should spend between 25 and 30 hours during the week on self-study, and that is on top of the classes on Sunday. Okay, so practical information. I will also share this in the Discord, to which everybody should have access. So we have our address is the Rue Royale. I mean, you can see it here as well, 196 in Brussels. It's the Epitech building. And this is also where the technical interviews will take place, as well as the classes every Sunday. Okay. So let's finish up the presentation part of tonight with some important dates. The deadline of the registration is the 6th of February, which leaves one more week to finish the technical assignment that has to be handed in at the 13th of February. Then we will send you an invite to an interview that will either be 18, 19, or 20 of February. Then if you pass the interview, you will be invited for the pre-course that starts at the 27th, which is sort of kickoff event where we can get to know each other and prepare ourselves for the official training that starts at the 6th of March. So this is the practical information. Are there any questions?
Yeah, please.
Yes.
Can I ask? If
Yes.
I don't have any information about the programming, can I follow this uploading of no?
So like I said, you don't have to be like, you don't need any previous experience, but because there will be a lot of self-study throughout the process, we do expect you to make the technical assignments based on things you can research on your own. So if you follow the link to our curriculum, you can see that there is like suggested study material that contains some basic topics, and you should study that by yourself. But outside of that self-study that we expect, we don't expect you to have previous background experience using those technologies or programming.
I have time for make this is up no, because I think today the last day. I don't make anything. I don't understand what must I do.
Like the deadline for the technical assignment is the 13th, as you can see here. So there's still time. Are you in the Discord group?
Yeah. Can I study alone with any maybe YouTube of Google? I search and study alone. Is okay?
Yeah, but if you take a look at the website, wait, if you take a look at,
because the first part I lost the first part. I come after I think 10 minutes. I don't hear all the information.
If you go to this website, or you go to home.hackyourfuture.be/curriculum/application, you will get to a page that contains this information about what we expect from the technical assignments. And next to the deliverables, there is also a part of suggested study materials. And if you take a look at that part, there are a lot of links to material that you can read. So if you just stick to the links that are in that suggested study materials part, you should be fine for the assignment.
Okay, thank you. I try. Maybe I get chance.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, I have just one question about the assignment. Step number 2, I need to build HTML and CSS web page. What is, for example, I made it like easy, like title and some information with some different color, you know. Is this enough, or I need to do more?
Yes. No, so in theory, that is enough, but do keep in mind that you have to build a website that explains some things about HTML and CSS. So if you have a website that uses some simple colors and some simple titles to explain what the title tag is and what the CSS is to color, that would be enough.
So you need also me to write also comments for each code. For example, this code, it's the preparing the color of the page of background,
Yes.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So you need to create a web page that explains to us that you know what you're doing with the HTML and the CSS. So the basics. It doesn't need to be very advanced, but it needs to be clear that you explain to us what it is that you're doing.
Even it's 1 or 2 or 3 code maximum, but the main thing I need to know what I do, and also need to explain for the Hacker Future groups. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So the last step for JavaScript, explain the variables. It's the same things, writing code and explain also the code, like writing some comments.
Indeed.
And it doesn't matter if it's like something big or small, even 2, 3, or 4 codes, it's enough. The main thing, it's enough. Yeah, because my experience in coding is not that big, large. So yeah.
So indeed, it's not necessary to make like a really big program. Just make sure that you have enough examples that you can show to us, that you know how variables work, and that you have like some examples of the differences between different types of variables. But it doesn't need to be really big. No need to make it artificially long, but just some basic examples that you can, by which you can show us that you know how variables work and explain.
Okay, that's good. That's good. And the deadline is not in the 6th of February, it's in the 13th, yeah? As you said, because I thought it's in the 6th.
Yeah, it was postponed a bit because of this info session that was quite late. So the deadlines were, the deadlines you see here on screen are the new deadlines that are official. So the 13th.
So yeah, we have the new deadlines, like the last one, because the last one was in 6th of February.
Yeah,
but now
the
we have
deadlines
like
are postponed because of the Q&A sessions are quite late. Indeed.
Yeah, okay, that's good. That's everything. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. Hauda, do I pronounce it right?
Yes, hi. I would like to know, because my card is no longer available, and I want to know if I'm eligible to the course or not.
Sorry, can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah, my card, identity card here in Belgium, it's not no longer valid. And I want,
What I would suggest is that you send us an email directly at info@hackersfuture.be, and then we can look together about what we can do about that, okay?
Okay.
Because it's a bit broad to answer right now, but we can look at that together.
Okay, thank you.
Please, I want to ask about the courses. Must make exam of what test?
So at the end of the courses, you see the last 6 weeks of the project, you will in group create a final project. And it's basically a project in which you're going to work together as a team using like real life methodologies and basically act like you would develop in a real company to deliver a prototype under supervision of some coaches. And at the end of those 6 weeks, you're going to present the final project you made to people that from the industry and also like other students or partners. And you have to kind of defend the project. So there will be people that ask like, oh, why did you make this decision? Or why did you do this? Or if you could change something. So you will sort of have to orally defend that project. But other than that, there are no written exams. No, it's like defending the project at the end.
Hello. This is my question exactly. I don't need to know the Java programming before. Yeah, I don't need. I know all this of what is the Java programming. Yeah, that's correct.
So you need to do a little bit of self-study to do what you need to do in the technical assignments. So whatever is linked there, like as suggested reading material, but other than that, we do not expect you to have past experience as a programmer, or we don't expect you to have taken courses in the past. No, But you do have to self-study a bit to do the technical assignments.
Okay, I try make this is okay. Thank you. Because I asked my friends, she said this is not for me because I don't have any information about the programming. I can't follow this uploading.
No, you can follow it. It just because we do have quite a lot of self-study that for the technical assignment, we also expect you to do some self-study so that we can see if it works out or not. So there is a bit of reading you need to do, but outside of that reading and to create the project for the technical assignments, we don't expect you to have prior professional experience or have followed previous courses. So it's really only the self-study aspect of it.
Okay, and for my English, I think is not so good, but I understand very well all things.
Yep.
Is enough
So,
of no?
Yeah, so the main thing why we have these language requirements is basically you need to be able to understand the coaches and the coaches need to be able to understand you. So as long as you're able to converse with our coaches, that it should be fine. We don't expect a perfect English level.
My English is enough of not enough. I am very afraid for
it's of course a bit too broad to discuss this here, but I mean, you can definitely apply and we can see how it goes. I wouldn't be too afraid, at least try.
Okay.
No?
Okay, thank you.
Hi.
Excuse me.
Sorry, there was somebody else talking. Oedgi
Yes.
or something?
Mariam. Yes.
Mariam, sorry.
So I want to ask, I see that I have to be like, we have to be available for 20 to 30 hours in the week. So is this possible for worker people?
So it depends a bit, like you are free to pick those hours whenever you want. So you can do it in the evening or you can work on Saturday. But we do expect quite a bit of time commitment. So it really depends on how much you have to work and how much free time you have left. Because those 25 to 30 hours are really necessary to go to the material and stay up to date. If you know for a fact that you won't have enough time to self-study, it can be difficult. But on the other hand, you are completely free to schedule those hours whenever it fits you, right? So you can say that you do like 8 hours on a Saturday and during the week in the evening, you take a couple of extra hours, something like that.
Great. So,
but that depends a bit on your specific situation.
Great. So I think it's a possible to join the course, even I already work.
Yeah. So if you have enough time to study after work, and then definitely. Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
Excuse me, will you please pop the screen up that has the email address so that we can contact Hack Your Future?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Any more questions? Okay, I see a lot of people with raised hands, but I think we already answered most of. If you already had your question answered, can you lower your hand again? Then we can see what.
I think I still have questions.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Abdullah. My question is about, you said in Sunday we're gonna have contact class. The class is gonna be online or face-to-face?
We are planning to have all the classes face-to-face, but of course, if the government decides that we need to move online, it's always possible that later this year we decide to go online. But we try to do all classes face-to-face because we notice that this leads to way better performance of everybody involved.
Okay, great. Okay, what about the link for registration? Please, you can share with us in the chat box.
You can, if you go to the hackyourfuture.be website, there should be a pop-up that asks you to apply now in the bottom right corner. That will send you straight to the type form.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot.
Okay, Maria, do you still have a question?
Yes, hello. First of all, thank you for your explanation and patience. I would like to ask about the second assignment. I have already started doing it, and my question is this web page, it should be really one page, because it was written that the menu is required, and the menu should be like just direction to the parts of the page or to another page?
Yeah, you can do multiple pages, but you'll also see that it's possible for a menu that you can link to a part of the same page.
Yes,
and
yes,
then
yes.
if you click it, it just scrolls down. But you can take some creative freedom if you think it's better to do more pages, or as long as you create a nice HTML or CSS page that explains the basics of HTML and CSS, that is fine.
Okay, thank you. And if it's possible, another question, based on your experience in Hack Your Future, what is the percentage of participants could find a job after taking this program?
Yeah. So 70% of the people that graduate find a job or an internship in the first 6 months after graduating.
Do you help them somehow or not?
Yes, yeah, of course. So we have the skill sessions that happen on the Mondays during the program, but we also have skill sessions after the program is done. It's completely optional, but we still have like job fairs, for example. It's something that we can organize, and we also help you if you write after you finish the program and you're applying for a company. We also offer to look at your cover letters and look at your resume, and we have information sessions with HR people and stuff like that as well. Yeah, there is like a follow-up track. Don't worry too much.
Sounds promising. Thanks a lot. I don't have any questions. Thank you.
Alex?
Hi, yes. So I live in Ostend, and you mentioned something about reimbursing the transportation. I just want to know, how does that work? Do I need to pay for the train ticket first? Or
So for exact details, it's always best to send an email, but normally we expect you to buy your own train tickets, and then at the end of the month there will be a form you can fill in where you can upload the tickets, and then it will be reimbursed afterwards.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Okay, Abdullah?
I already asked. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
I just have another question, if you don't mind.
Okay.
My question is, after we finish these courses, what is the type certificate you're gonna provide us, like the diploma or the professional certificate, or like beginner?
There is no official diploma. You will receive a certificate of participation, but for the exact details, I suggest you contact the email address, and then we can discuss it in email. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
If there, sorry, Fanny.
Hi, sorry, I have a quick questions. So if you already have submitted the assignment, would be possible to make an adjustment, or it's not possible anymore? It's already final.
Because you submitted the assignment, which was, you filled in the 3 links, right?
Yes.
But those 3 links just link to your online accounts. So you can actually just keep updating your accounts up until the day of the deadline. And on the day of the deadline, we'll take a look at all the projects. So you can still edit your projects. That's fine. Because the link will stay the same.
Got it. And also the second question, sorry. So actually for the deliverables number 2, with developing in HTML and CSS, I actually make some sort of like a dummy website, something like that, and then make an explain on the where you write your program and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Would be okay, or it's really like?
No. As long as you buy your, as long as you have an example that and explain the basics of HTML and CSS, it can be like you said. If you create a dummy website and provide the explanation in comments, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, I see no more raised hands, I think.
I have something curious, sir, if you don't mind, just like to clarify my mind, if you don't mind. My questions, like, as I don't have background in the web development, but I saw like in the websites or on the YouTube channels or the people, they talk about the Pythons, but here we don't mention about the Pythons at all.
No, Python is a completely different programming language that you can learn, and we're not focusing on Python. We're focusing really on web development. So we're really going to focus on HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, which is what I use to build websites. Python is a different programming language that is used for other purposes, but we're not going to focus on Python. We're really going to focus on HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and front-end development.
Okay, great. Also, this soft what we call this programs, we use it like it is like requirement in the in the market.
Yeah. So HTML, CSS, and JavaScript are the programming language to create web applications. So with this, you can become like a junior web developer. Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot.
Okay. Preti?
Yeah, I have a quick question. Do we need to publish this GitHub account, or we can just share the link with for the assignment?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
So my question is the first deliverable, the GitHub account with the profile README. Do we need to publish the GitHub account, or just we need to share the link of the README link?
It's a public GitHub account, and then you're going to share the link. But it's important that you make these GitHub accounts public, because throughout the course, you're going to work on many projects. And by the end of the program, your GitHub account will act as sort of a portfolio that you can share with future employers. So it needs to be a public GitHub account, and then you add a README. Okay. Okay. Abdullah?
Okay.
Yes, and I have something else. As you said, there's some examples for some simple page for HTML and CSS where I can't find, but I didn't understand where to
So
find.
if you go to the curriculum page, where the deliverables are, at the left side of the menu, there will be deliverables, but there will also be another subtopic that links to some related material that you can look, that explains some HTML.
Yeah, I went now to the developers for the assignment, and in the left or right, as left.
So let me see. Okay, any more questions? Huda?
Yeah, yes. I would like to ask for the GitHub profile. I want to know if we need to add the other deliverables and the README profile.
So in your GitHub profile, you only need to add the README.
Yeah, in this README, do we need to add the projects that we already did or not?
You mean like HTML and CSS projects you did in the past? You can add them to your GitHub profile if that's yeah. you can do that, but it's not like mandatory. If you haven't done any previous project, that's fine. You don't need them, but if you have them, you can certainly add them.
And so we need just to do a presentation, simple presentation about us. That's it?
Yeah, so for more details on what exactly needs to be in there, if you take a look at the deliverables, wait, let me see if I can share the screen again. If you take a look at the deliverables page here, the link, in here you can see everything it needs to be there. So indeed, you just need to create a profile README that explains yourself. So maybe give a bit about your background, try to say something, and make sure that you try to use some Markdown syntax in there, right? So complete sentences, good grammar and spelling, communication is important. So make sure it's clean and yeah. So indeed, it can be quite short, just like a little bit of background about yourself, maybe explain something about your hobbies, where you're from, like a very short introduction about yourself. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. I think that was the last raised hand. Any more questions? Feel free to unmute yourself. If not, then I suggest that we stop here. No more questions?
I have one last question.
Okay, ask.
Do we need to write a comments for the HTML and the CSS page for the second deliverable, and as well as for the third deliverable for the JavaScript variables? Do we need to write the comments before writing the code?
Yes, so you need to write the comments to explain how the things that you're writing, how they work, right? Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. And what about the interview? Is it in person?
Yes. If nothing changes, the interviews will be held in person at the Epitech building.
Okay, if we complete the assignment, we'll be eligible for the interview. Is it like that, or anything else we have to do for it?
So if you complete the assignment, we'll check it for like how complete it is, and if it achieves our standard, then we'll contact you for the interview. We'll send you an invite.
Okay, interview. What kind of is it in like a general interview or anything related to the coding related?
Yeah. So like I said in the slide, in the interview, we will assess your English level, like whether we can understand each other. We will take a look at the code you wrote. Don't expect it to be very technical. We're just going to have a discussion about what you wrote. And then we're also going to try to check your motivation, as well as whether you will be available for those 25 to 30 hours.
Okay. And can you share all these in position slides after the meeting?
Yes, I think we can send the slides to everybody who attended. Yes, I will.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question in chat. That's how much is a maximum for students? And I don't really know what is meant by the question. Can the person that asked this question maybe unmute themselves and explain a bit more?
I think it's like how many people you will select for the codes, I guess.
Yeah.
We have 25 places in the classroom. So there are 25 students can join.
Okay, it's good. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So if there's no more questions, then I think we can end it here. And I wish you all good luck, and I hope to see you all in the interviews. Good evening.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for everything, and have a nice evening.
Yeah.
Have a nice weekend. Thanks.